This is the king of magic, the paintbrush, that can help you take pictures and is taking pictures like Van Gogh or like other painters. This is an amazing lens that will blow your mind, a lens that will transport you to another universe. I wasn't expect to have these feelings regarding this type of lens. So love it or hate it, but let's discuss about this type of unique lens. Hi there and welcome to my channel. Tudor Matescu here. I have here a lens, a great lens that also works on full frame cameras like Sony 7C, like Nikon Z, like Canon R, but also on APS-C cameras like Fujifilm cameras. So this lens, it's great to be used on any camera. What I have here, it's a full frame lens that it's a 50mm focal lens. So on a full frame camera, you'll have a 50mm field of view, and on an APS-C, Fujifilm camera, Sony camera, and so on, Nikon Z, APS-C camera, you'll have a 75mm field of view. And the aperture, it's great. It's an f1.6 aperture, but that is not all. This lens has a trick to it. And look here, it rotates 360 degrees. So it's rotating 360 degrees, not just left, not just right, not just up and down, in any direction. This is a tilt shift lens, but a special tilt shift lens with a rotation, how I've said, of 360 degrees. This means you'll have outstanding control of your plane of focus. The lens is made by Artra Lab, and it's a tilt shift 360 degrees f1.6 lens that has a great focusing mechanism. And I want to share with you my experience and my results, because I want to show you my results and my pictures with this lens. First of all, when I talked to receive this lens, I wasn't so thrilled because I said the tilt shift lens, it will be hard for me to use it, I will not like it. I know about tilt shift lenses and about that effect, but I think it will be hard to use because those lenses can shift very easily. You have a locking mechanism and you'll shift it, you'll use it and so on. But this has another design and it's sought to be a fun lens, it's sought to be a paintbrush lens from my point of view, even if it's a very sharp lens. At f1.6 it's a very sharp lens, but also at other apertures. So let's talk first about the build quality and how this lens is operating. The build quality is really great. The lens is very small, how you are able to see. It has an aperture ring that it's not clicked, and this is a good thing because it's great for videography. I am showing you videos made with this lens and this will help you a lot in videography. The aperture ring is not clicked. I didn't bump it. It has a nice texture, so you are able to feel the aperture ring. Also the focusing ring is very smooth and you have some marks on the focusing ring. And also you have here the tilt shift mechanism, and you can take the lens and flip it as you want and rotate it as you want. And this is a great thing because the lens will stay in the position. I would have wanted a fixed mechanism or some indications to take the lens back to the normal position. It's easy to do so, but again, probably this could be a better implementation, but for what it is, I didn't have any problems and any accidental settings regarding this lens on the field. So I didn't bump it, I didn't change the focus plane by mistake, I didn't bump the focus ring, I didn't bump the aperture ring. So all it worked really great with this lens regarding build quality and operation. Now regarding manual focusing with this lens, I've used this lens at start with focus picking, but because I have a very shallow depth of field, because this is what I wanted, I've decided to not use at all focus picking, and the pictures and what I've got are really good. So you don't need focus picking with this lens. I wanted to use this lens for the shallow field of view. But what is interesting regarding a tilt shift lens is that you get a very shallow depth of field also on APS-C, but also on full frame. And regarding the settings that you'll do, the optical settings, the manual settings that you'll do with this lens, you'll get a very shallow depth of field, and you will not be able to obtain such shallow depth of field with any other lenses. So I've shot this less at f2.8, f5.6, and the field of view, because I've twisted the lens in different ways, was very shallow. It was very interesting. So I was able to shoot this lens at f1.6 and have more in focus, or at f2.8 and have less in focus, depending on how I shifted the lens. So the lens, it's a psychedelic lens. You get all kind of effects between what is in focus and what it's not in focus. You'll not just have a normal effect like you will use a filter in Photoshop. No, you can also have a diagonal plane of focus, so you'll have in focus a diagonal line as I'm showing here, and this is a great thing. So you can isolate different parts of the subjects in very nice ways. The next important thing regarding build quality and image quality is that this lens has 14 aperture blades. These are plenty of aperture blades. So great thing, 14 aperture blades. This is really important. This will help you get a very smooth bokeh and also very smooth autofocus areas. And yes, the autofocus areas are very smooth. So this means the lens is very suited for portraiture photography, for artsy videography, for wedding photography where you want special effects, and wedding videography. Where it helped me a lot, it helped me in creativity. It helped me discover another part of my city. So doing photography in the same city over and over again, it is boring. And this lens, it's wow, it's really wow, because I can take a 50mm f1.4 lens and I say, wow, I have subject to background separation, nice depth of field, I get other kind of pictures, I can get a mist filter on my Fujifilm lenses or on my Sony lenses, and I will get other kind of pictures, but nothing different. This lens is taking you to another universe. And also you can add a mist filter on this lens, and probably I will try in the future to add a mist filter on this lens, and I'm very curious what kind of results I will get with a mist filter. Next, this lens, it's great to be used in daylight, in bright sunny days, how I'm showing on the pictures, but also in night photography. Because again, look at the pictures. You were able to see the daylight pictures and the night photography pictures, and they are all looking great. So it's working great in any lighting conditions, helping you get amazing out of this world results. So this is why I'm calling this a Van Gogh lens, a paintbrusher lens, because even if I will use a 50mm f1 full frame lens, I will not get psychedelic results like with this lens. Now let's talk about image quality. Well, what is important to get good results with a lens like this is to have a lens that is very sharp at f1.6. And the lens is very sharp, how you are able to see in my pictures. The subjects are popping, you have good details and good sharpness on the subjects, of course when they are in focus. I didn't use this lens as a normal lens because I think it's not the idea, but for what I'm seeing, the lens is very sharp. Also regarding image quality, I've discovered some vignetting depending on how I've twisted the lens. Of course, in some angles I will have some vignetting and some distortion because I'm twisting that lens in all kinds of ways, but this again adds to the effect. Next, I was able to see some contrasty lighting conditions, some purple fringing, but it's very easily to correct the purple fringing, and I think it's a good excuse for this lens to be a small lens, to be a portable lens, because it's small and very light. This full frame version has only 200 grams. The APS-C version, it's a little different. It has 222 grams. For specs and more pictures and a more detailed review regarding this lens, please check my article on my blog to see the pictures that I've got with this lens. Also, it's very important to address that this lens, it's almost not flaring. Yes, I've got some flare, but for a lens like this, probably I expected flare, but it didn't flare at all. From 500 pictures, I've got one picture with a little flare. So the flare is very well controlled, and I've tested the flare even in my studio, and it was very well controlled. So this means you can use this lens without problems for filming, for videography, and so on. So very well controlled. Also, you have very good contrast, very good color, very good clarity with this lens. So the glass from this lens, it is very good. Now, is it hard to use a lens like this? I thought it was hard to focus this lens. I thought I needed to punch in, zoom to nail the focus. My thoughts were that it will be hard, it will be not fun, and I will not like it. These were my honest thoughts. But after using it, it was very hard for me to motivate to start using it. I took some pictures and I've looked. The first pictures, the second picture, the third picture. And I said, wow, from this flat scene, that with a normal 50mm lens or with a normal 75mm lens, f1.8, f1.4, I would not be able to take pictures like this. I would not be able to see angles like this. I would not be able to paint like this, because photography is painting with light. And this is why I'm telling you this lens, it's a paintbrush lens by design. What is important here is that this lens is by design a paintbrush lens. So it's not by mistake. It's not like we are taking an old lens and we are saying that lens it has character but it has optical flaws. No, this lens is by design a paintbrush lens, a lens with a very strong character, a lens that can help you take straight out of the camera normal pictures if you want. You can set the plane focus in the normal mode, shoot it at f1.6, boom. And I will need to do this. I'm sorry I didn't do this because I was very curious about the 360 degrees tilt shift, but I will update in the future my article on my blog so you can check that article. But for painting with this lens, for getting amazing fine art street photography, amazing fine art wedding photography, fine art videography, this is the lens to opt. I will not opt now knowing that a lens like this exists for other f1.4 lens just for that depth of field. No, this f1.6, it's crazy. I don't know, it's acting like an f1.0. I can't explain it. Let's say just that because we are shifting the focal plane, we are shifting the lens, tilt shifting it, you are able to obtain even better results than a 50mm f1.0 lens. This is where this lens is shining. You can get pictures that you could waste hours in editing them, and you will not think about editing those pictures like you are getting pictures with this lens. Or you could use a 50mm f1.0 and I think you will not be able to get a picture like this, the one with the watch that I'm showing here. I don't know with what kind of lens you can get a picture like this, just with heavy editing in Photoshop. Boom. So it's a great lens. I'm totally recommend it. Get it till you can, get it till it's in stock. Use my affiliate links and check my blog for this review. Also, if you are liking content like this, please subscribe to my channel, leave me your comments, like my video, share my video with your friends, share it on Facebook and on other social media. And if you just want to watch my other videos, please click here the next videos that I recommend for you. Thank you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.